Okay. All right, so we are going to draw the wave. Let me just get this to be focused here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to draw, we're going to be labeling the parts of a wave. And so what I would recommend is that you have 4 different color, either markers or colored pencils or pens, whatever you want to use. I'm just going to use these 4 colors to label the parts of the wave, and then we're also going to define them. So I'm going to start with drawing the middle line here, which is also like the reference point. So there's my middle line. And now I'm going to draw my wave. So I'm going to start over on the left. Just go up and down. It doesn't have to be perfectly equal. Oops, my paper moved. Okay, so there's my wave. And now I'm going to label the parts of it. So first part I'm going to label. That's the crest. This is also a crest. This is also a crest. So you can see that there's 3 crests. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll get into the definition in just a second. Then down here at the bottom, I'm going to move this up a little bit. Down here is the trough. So that's a trough, that's a trough, and that's a trough. Okay, and then the space between the crest and this middle line, so here to here, also from the trough to the middle line, so all through each of these. So I could draw arrows in between each of these. All of those, that is your amplitude. And then last part is the space between this crest here and this crest here. So the space between the crests, so it could also be here as well. So the space between the crests is your wavelength. Okay, so there are the parts of the wave. And then depending on how you want to do it, you can write the definitions on the back. You can write the definitions if you can fit them on the same paper, or you can write them on a separate sheet, whichever you prefer. We're going to write the definitions for each of these parts of the wave. So I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to write it on a separate sheet of paper just so that you can see it really clearly. And we'll start, and I'm going to use the same colored pens to go with the terms to try to help kind of keep it the same. So the crest is the top of each wave. So if you're looking at the picture, it's going to be above the middle line. So it's above that black middle line here. So anything above it, those are crests. Okay. Crest. Okay. The next one, what color it is? Green. So the next one is the trough. So let's focus. Let me see if it'll come back here. Sometimes if there we go. Okay. So the trough is the bottom. of each wave, or it's below the middle line. So again, just to show you, here's your troughs, here's your middle line, and these are your troughs down here. Next one I did in pink. Okay. Next is the amplitude. So the amplitude is the distance between the crest and the middle line, or the distance between the trough and the middle line. Okay. No, I used blue. Sorry, I'm using the wrong color. There we go. And then, so just to kind of show that again, the amplitude is this space. So from the bottom of the trough to that middle line, so the bottom of the trough to the middle line, or the crest to the middle line, crest to middle line, all of that's your amplitude. And then the last one was the wavelength. So the wavelength is the distance between two crests. So just to show that again, it's the distance here between these two crests or these two crests. That's your wavelength. Okay, and we'll look at this stuff a little more tomorrow during live session and kind of practice identifying those. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw another wave, and I'm going to have you guys on the Edpuzzle be labeling it. So let me get a blank sheet, and I'm going to draw the wave and just number it, and then you'll be answering on the Edpuzzle. So there's my middle line, and I'll draw my wave. Okay. And I'm not going to use different colors. I'm just going to put numbers. So that's your first question. So what's that called? Second question is this down at the bottom. Third is going to be that. So same thing, the distance between the crest and the middle line, or the trough and the middle line. So that's number 3. And then 4 is going to be that there, the distance between these two things. I'm not going to tell you what they are because that's the question in number 1, but between those two. Okay. So you're going to be posting, if you would like to get the extra credit, you will have to, on the extra credit, show me both your vocab words as well as the parts that you labeled on the wave. And you'll show me those on Flipgrid, and you'll want to make sure that you have labeled it correctly and that you have written all the definitions. And if you've done all that, then you will get the extra credit. You can earn up to 10 points extra credit if you do that correctly. So if you have any questions, let me know. And tomorrow, again, we'll get into this more in live session. So if you have any questions before then, shoot me an email or a text.